Okay, a part 2 to the same video right after I did the recovery. If you just caught this video and you don't know what's going on, go back one video and look at my other video and you'll see what procedure we're up to now. Now, I don't tell you everything when I do all my videos, and this would have been one of the parts, and I've shown this many times before, but for the newcomers, let me show it again. I just performed a recovery and this system is completely empty. But not only is the system empty, it's under a vacuum. Right now it's under a 29 vacuum. 29 inches of mercury vacuum. And I just removed refrigerant, and if you looked at my thermal camera imaging, you've seen the temperature go down and everything became cool inside. So now we have a whole system that's under a negative 29 vacuum. All the internal lines and all the metal and everything is very cold now, especially down in the compressor. In the insulated evaporator is very cold. It got actually ice cold inside there. So now it's under a vacuum. Now a body shop man, he's gonna come here and he wants to take this off and replace it because of the damage right there. He's gonna come over and he's gonna zip these off and pull this pipe out. What's gonna happen? 29 inches mercury vacuum, negative vacuum, in a cold system that's down to the 30s and 40s inside. Right now the humidity is like 70 or 80% right now. So this air, ambient air, is just gonna whoosh, suck in, like you were seeing a science fiction space movie and they open up the air locker and the air just whooshes right out of there and things freeze. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. This air is gonna get sucked into the system and instantly flash into liquid water with drops of water from the beginning of this line all the way to the furthest reaches, going all the way back through the expansion valve into the evaporator and turn actually into liquid drops of water, exactly the same on a hot summer day. When you put a glass out, you have ice water in it, and drops of water form on the outside and fall down onto your tabletop and turn to a little puddle. That's exactly what's going to happen when this body man comes, takes this off, especially if you're in one of those shops and you have one of those big dumb square machines you hook up to do a recovery. Well, the machine is only as stupid as the person hooking the machine up. So the person who hooks the machine up is responsible for the stupidity that goes on. And here's one of the things. They hook the machine up, they do a recovery, they get it into a negative vacuum, they need to get this off fast, they take it off, they introduce the system with moisture. You're not going to get that all out doing a normal vacuum. So here's what we do. What do we have here? Dry nitrogen. So you got your dry nitrogen. It's already hooked up. I already have this valve on. I don't have the pressure on yet. I have this part loose. And if you look right here, I already have it backed out. So it's not depressing the core right now. It's just open from here to here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crack open. You hear that? Listen. You hear that swoosh of air? So what I just did was I purged my line out all the way up to this fitting. Now I close this fitting off. Now let me turn this back on. Now I just put some pressure in the line. Now I'm showing you just one of many methods, and I'm making this really fast and simple. Wear your safety glasses, wear gloves, always have face protection. You're dealing with pressure. You have 2,500 plus PSI in here, and I only have a few PSI I put in here because I only want to get this system up to 0 PSI, 1 PSI, 2, 3 PSI, no more than 2 or 3 PSI, that's it. I just want to equal it out with atmospheric pressure. So when he opens up this nut right here, the bolt, and takes it out and opens up line, there's a little bit of dry nitrogen coming out. Not a lot what could splash him in the eyes with some oil or anything like that and cause harm to him. And I don't want it so when he disconnects it, there's 100 PSI and the line pops off and hits him in the face. Only 1 or 2 PSI. It's positive dry nitrogen. So let's do this. I'm going to show you a real simple way. I'm not doing any gauges, no pressure or anything. I'm just zipping it in there. I'm going in. I know what I have. I've been doing this too long. I'm not showing you anything. I'm doing a quickie. Okay, I'm just not showing you anything. I'm just introducing you to a procedure without any fine detail. Okay, so that should be enough. I'm not looking at no gauges. I'm just using my head and experience. So now I'm going to undo this. Okay, so now the valve core went up and sealed off the system. Now I'm going to shut off the gas here, back out my regulator. Now I have pressure in the tank, or pressure in the hose. Whatever pressure I have in this hose is the pressure I have in the system. Let's listen. There's a little hiss, okay? It wasn't much. That was the pressure released in the hose. Well, now I have a pressurized system. I don't want to walk away because I might cause harm to the next guy who's going to come here and take this off, and it'll pop out and hit him. Or it'll splash peg oil in his eye. And peg oil burns the eyes and it tastes nasty. I tell you that, it definitely tastes nasty. So now what I'm going to do, you can either, no, I'm not going to tell you that because everyone damages the valves. When you stick a foreign object and you go to press in on the Schrader valve, most shops damage it because they push it off to the left or right and cause damage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slowly open this. Let's see if we can hear this. You hear that? You see that? Really slow. We don't want to make oil gel back out of there and foam up into refrigerant oil under rapid pressure release. And we can hear it go down. You see that little bit of oil right there? Did you see those few little, like almost one drop? And I could see and I could hear it has stopped. Okay, so now I just relieved the dry nitrogen in this system down to atmospheric pressure. It might have 1 psi in there, and down to a level where it's safe. Now I know when the body shop guy comes and takes these lines off and he opens it up, it's not going to get a rush of atmospheric air in there. This is, it's not mineral oil anymore. It hasn't been mineral oil since the last car, what was R12 in the United States, was 1994, the last year make. By 1994, 100% of all cars were manufactured with peg oil, PAG, and R134. So mineral oil was a little forgiving about getting moisture in it. PAG oil is not. Definitely ester oil is not, especially with the electric high voltage compressor. Remember, a lot of these cars now are hybrids or electric cars with electric 3-phase compressors that are operating on 200 plus to 300 plus volts, and they have electric windings, and you do not want moisture in there. It will work when it leaves its shops, but the customer loses the compressor later on. I explained that in other videos. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I gotta get running. See you guys.